What's going on? It's Fireball. Back with some more cheap cooking. Today I'm going to kind of just combine some stuff that I had in my freezer and some mac and cheese that I have. We'll be cutting a couple large strips of steak, I guess, into bite-sized chunks, and yeah, go along for the ride. First, just gonna, I already know the knife is sharp. Gonna start cutting this to small pieces, make it a little bit easier to cut later. Cutting it raw makes it easier to cut rather than cutting it later once it's cooked. This way. With this one, once I started getting closer to the actual meat itself, it started becoming a little bit more difficult, but it's no biggie. Just cut a little bit further back. I'm cutting into probably quarters anyway, so I'm only now realizing how much meat this is going to be. I need to move these. Should not throw in weight bags. Like that. Let's put this over here. Take these two, set those there. Now, I can more easily cut into quarters. This should only take about one swipe from this knife each time. And in case you're wondering, I get most, if not all, the meat that I ever use from Sam's Club. I have a membership there, so I buy it in bulk so I can use it for a little bit of everything. So I don't have to really worry about running out of like steak or ground beef, as long as I stay on top of it. Cut that. There we go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into a rather large 5-quart bowl, which I had them in thawing out just a couple minutes ago. Take this, drop these in there. Oh, this one needs to be cut. I'm gonna cook it fat and everything, so that I still get the flavor from the fat. This one that I'm cutting now might not need to be cut into quarters, but I probably will still, just to be safe. That's good. It's about the same size as the other chunks. And the last bit, this one's got a lot of fat, especially up here towards the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to start down towards the bottom, just work our way up. Cut it fairly small so I don't have to cut it into quarters. The only one that I really needed to cut into quarters was that one's going to need to be cut into quarters. Was that first big one, because of how just large it was. Now that I'm getting up here towards where there's more fat, I'm going to have to take a little bit more liberty with the approximate size I want these to be. There we go. Now take these, drop them into here. And now, wash your hands. Anytime, like I said in the last video, anytime that you ever handle raw meat, even if it's just for a second, wash your hands. Like, I'm washing my hands before I even like season. Then I'm gonna wash them again after I season. I'm going to be using garlic salt, seasoned salt for this. Just gonna set that there so I can do what I need to do. Shuffle this a little bit, get it nice and flat. Now I'm gonna cut after I finish seasoning. Just gonna kind of guesstimate, sprinkle it over, make sure it's enough to cover. Set that to the side. Dump that in. And for cooking it, I'm gonna put them in a pan on high heat with butter in the bottom to get it done faster. And once I get it rolling, I'll turn the heat down to probably medium. Get the chunks of meat to probably medium rare. After I mix all this, get it all nice and mixed together. And it doesn't look like some of this even has any on it. It has some on it. Don't never second guess yourself when it comes to seasoning, because you can very easily over season. And you know, with this stuff, like, the main thing you want to taste is the meat. Yeah, the seasoning is just there to help. And again, we're going to wash our hands. And if I had to guess, it's probably a pound and a half to 2 pounds of meat. Probably a little bit more, maybe a little less. I don't have a scale, so I can't really measure it. Just wash our hands, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. I just melted the butter in the pan. And since I know that this is something that I guess I like watching when I watch cooking videos on YouTube, I assume this is probably something that you might want to watch too. Just I'm gonna put that in there, dump that in, pat it down. It's a little small, but it'll do. I forgot to grab the lid. Once it's in, just give it a good shake. Get that nice and mixed in with the butter. I'll turn it down. I'm going to put it on low 3. Get it so it's cooking, but not too fast. Cool down. Now, we're going to take some Velveeta shells and cheese. I know, processed food, not good, blah, blah, blah. But that's what I have. And That's the best part about budget cooking. You can take something as simple as Velveeta shells and cheese, and with a little bit of fun and finagling, you can make something really good. Fill this up. This calls for 6 cups of water. I'm just going to fill it up to the notches on the pot because I am using a little bit bigger pot than what this is actually, and what the box, and what one box is meant for. And this whole concoction should last me dinner tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday. Or dinner tonight, lunch tomorrow, and Thursday, and dinner tomorrow and Thursday. Get that up to a boil, and turn this. Oh, that one. Push that down. Make sure it's all nice and make sure it's all getting cooked evenly. Don't want anything to be preventing something else from cooking evenly. I know some of the thinner pieces are going to be a little overdone, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make to have the bigger pieces properly done. I'm going to put this down on low so I don't need to worry about it. Do a hip shake again, get everything off the sides. Now we just wait for the water to boil, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna pour in the Velveeta, the shells part, and I might need a second bit just to make sure that I have enough, so I have about an equal amount of meat to macro or to the shells and cheese. So I'll be doing 2 servings, 2 boxes of shells and cheese for this. This is the best part about buying in bulk. If you determine that you need more, you still got enough in the, there we go. You still have enough in the cabinet to be able to compensate. I'm just gonna stir that a little just to get it in, get it flat. And now it's just gonna take a little bit of time to boil, and for this to finish, I'm stirring it periodically with a spatula just to make sure nothing's sticking and nothing is sticking and nothing is burning. Just moving around. Yes, it's on low, but stuff like this meat can go from perfect to god awful in an instant. That's probably going to be chewy. A lot of this fat is probably going to be chewy, but I'll try to get it out, after all is said and done, and it's in the, once it's all said and done, and it is in the mac and cheese. When I say mac and cheese, you know what I mean. Turn this up just a hair. Every time after you shake, or after you stir, give it a good shake. And I'll be right back when I get to the point where I'm draining the macaroni. Alright, so I took the meat off the burner. Let it just do its own thing until the mac and cheese is ready. And once that's ready, I will come back and I will show me draining the mac and cheese and combining everything into the pot. All right, it's time to drain. Take the lid off, get that to the side. That's gonna slide in. Take the pot, pour it into your strainer. Specifically says do not rinse, and I just want to follow that. Now, before we put the pasta back in, we're going to add in our noodles. Add in our meat. Then, now, that. Okay, the noodles are done now. So, mix this all together as best as possible. The meat, we already know, is done. Now, that's really good. Now, we add our cheese. Turn off the fan so y'all can hear me. Just cut this. So glad I finally got around to getting me a pair of scissors for the kitchen. Just gonna dump this in. And if you remember, we use 2 packs. So, we got 2 things of cheese. Honestly, if you want to use Kraft, you can use Kraft, Velveeta, anything really to do this. Heck, if you want to make your own, if you want to like have your own pasta already, just follow the simple steps and get it done. Now that that's in, we'll mix everything together. It's got a bunch of the juice from the meat down in the bottom. So I'm making sure that I'm getting down on the bottom, turning it over. Oh, that sucks. Lost one. Use what you got. But this is more or less just a throw together meal to be able to feed you or multiple people for either a night, several days, however long it may be, adjust as needed. But this should easily feed me for multiple days. Especially since I don't particularly eat that much. And now, take some bowls and get my to-go bowls ready first. And because I anticipate having a lot left over after, put that in there. Try to get as much meat in there as possible. I might not have that much left over. Looking at it. One meal. Again, put as much meat in, try to get as much meat in as possible. Just simple bowling, just putting it in put it in whatever to-go bowl or storage container you want to use. Two meals done. I'm going to bring 3 bowls with me to work. I need a bigger bowl. This is my, in case I'm still hungry after I finish off a bowl. Be able to add a little bit extra. And I anticipated needing a lot bigger bowl for the rest, but it seems that this is plenty. Yeah, everything that I did is just kind of eyeballing it. Yeah. I don't have exact recipes for this. I just kind of eyeballed it, guesstimated on seasoning amounts based on what I like personally, and just rinse off your spoon. Make sure nothing sticks to your spoon. And that's that. Nice steak mac, ready to go. Quick, cheap, easy. Velveeta boxes of Velveeta. I want to say are just a few dollars each, especially like if you go with like the Walmart brand. They're very cheap. The most expensive thing with this was probably the steak. Like I mentioned, I used probably 2.5 to 3 pounds of steak. I personally don't know exactly how much I used because I don't have a scale, and they were in individual bags so that I could eat them as steak. But I realized that I don't really like how they tasted as steak themselves, so I figured maybe combining them with mac and cheese would help. And I want to say they will. Anyway, if you have suggestions for what I should make next time, leave it down in the comments. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. If you're not already, obviously. If you liked the video, if you found it helpful at all, make sure you hit the like. And on Fireball, make sure to check out my gaming channel. I am out.